Alright, hey y'all, I'm Jordan Edgeworth, and today I'm going to be talking to y'all about ergonomic interventions. Ergonomic interventions is going to be modifications made to the workplace or the workplace environment to help patients work more efficiently while they're on their job. And it's going to also help prevent injuries that can occur at their job. So here are some statistics that go along with this. Musculoskeletal disorders are the most common occupational disorder, and these disorders are the leading cause for lost work time and disabilities. What that means is these people, while they're on their job, they are getting injured and it's causing them to not be able to go to work, or if they do go to work and they try to work through the injury, they are not able to work as efficiently. And ergonomic intervention is going to help prevent some of these injuries from occurring. So here are some common injuries or disorders: low back pain, muscle strains, repetitive strain injury, and bad posture. And bad posture can lead to all kinds of pain and many different types of injuries. The most important thing that I thought that would help these patients is patient education. So patient education is, the first thing you need to educate them on is what good posture should look like. Because like I said just a minute ago, bad posture can lead to many different types of injuries down the road, and it can cause all kinds of pain. So educating them on what good posture should look like is the most important thing. So we'll come over here and I'll show y'all what good posture should look like while you're sitting in the chair. So say your patient's working at an office all day and they're sitting in the chair all day. The first thing they need to do is get a seat that can adjust in height. This is very important because if their seat is stuck like this and say their computer is up here, and they're looking up all day, 8 hours a day, that's going to put a lot of strain on their neck. And vice versa, same thing. If they're looking down all day, that's going to put a lot of strain on their neck. So getting a chair that can adjust in height to keep them at eye level of the computer is going to be very important. The second thing is they need to get a chair that has back support so they can keep that back flushed up against the chair. And they also need to be able to keep their feet flat on the floor. And another thing, just have their elbows at like a 90-degree angle, just like this. And you also want to keep their head, and you want to educate them and tell them to keep their head and their neck in a neutral position. You don't want it too far forward or too far back. You just want to have it in a neutral position with their shoulders rolled back. All right. Alright, so patient education and continue teaching proper body mechanics. Say you have a patient that does hard labor for a living, or they work for a moving company and they're lifting heavy objects all day. Some of the common injuries we saw in there was muscle strains, repetitive muscle strains, and bad posture, bad lifting mechanics. These people can have these injuries because they've never been taught what proper body mechanics when lifting heavy objects should look like. So right here I have a little box, and I'll show y'all what bad body mechanics and what good body mechanics should look like. I'm bad about this too. What we like to do naturally is we like to bend at the hip and bend over like this to pick an object up. And what that is doing is it's going to put a whole lot of strain on your back. And of course we don't want that. So what it should look like is you want to keep your chest up, and you want to bend at your knees. You want to keep your neutral spine. You want to bend at the knees and just lift just like that. And also another thing that you can teach them is that they are lifting heavy objects. You don't want to lift a heavy object and turn, because that torque, putting all that pressure and strain and torque on that back can cause an injury as well. Another thing you can teach them is pushing versus pulling heavy objects. So a lot of people like to push heavy objects, but it's much easier to pull heavy objects. So what you can teach them is keep the object close to their body, keeping that same neutral spine, and pulling the heavy object towards them rather than pushing it. All right, and another intervention that I thought was very important was rest breaks. Teaching these people the importance of rest breaks and how that can help benefit them. So while you're sitting at a desk all day, or while you're working at this hard labor job all day, rest breaks are going to be vital. They're going to be very important. So if you're sitting in a chair all day, 8 hours a day, I would say you need to get up at least every hour, because while you're sitting in this chair trying to maintain this good posture, your postural muscles are activating and they're working extremely hard to maintain that good posture. So naturally, they're going to get weak over time. So standing up and walking around the office or performing work-related exercises or workspace exercises, this is going to help give some relief to those postural muscles, and it's going to get that blood pumping back through the body to help relieve some of that stiffness that could be occurring from them sitting all day. All right, and that is going to end my presentation for ergonomic interventions. Appreciate y'all listening. I hope y'all took something from this.